Hello everyone, my name is Winters and welcome back to another episode of Star Trek Online Do's and Don'ts. In this episode we are going to talk about bridge officer abilities and purchasing bridge officer abilities. If you take note of where I'm heading here, obviously I am on Earth Space Dock and we're going to go to what's known as the Bridge Officer Trainer. A lot of people actually fall into this pit hole trap. As you can see here, we're under Admiral Quinn's office, and this guy here is the Bridge Officer Training Vendor. And what I want to talk to you about is the different types of bridge officer abilities. So basically, if you want to train your bridge officer in a particular skill, you come here to buy the skill. All right. As you can see, there are common abilities, otherwise known as instant abilities. Then you have uncommon abilities, otherwise known as lieutenant abilities. Then you have rare abilities known as Lieutenant Commander, and then you have very rare abilities known as Commander, or used in the slots, the different slots that are available. So actually what I'll do here is I'll go to stations. So you can see here my ensign ability on this bridge officer, Jonak. He has a tactical team 1 in the ensign slot. He has an attack pattern beta 1 in the lieutenant slot. He has a cannon scatter volley 2 in the lieutenant commander slot, and a cannon scatter volley 3 in the commander slot. But the point that I want to make is that purchasing from this vendor is much better than purchasing off the exchange. So let's just take this engineering team 3. Or 1, sorry, engineering team 1. It costs 250 energy credits. In fact, all of the ensign abilities cost 250 energy credits as well. So, there's science team 1, it costs 250 energy credits. Tactical team 1, 250 energy credits. Beamfire at will, same thing. So, what we're going to do now is we are going to go back to the exchange, and we're going to do a search for some of those abilities. Alright? And I'm going to show you the difference in purchasing off the exchange versus purchasing from the vendor. What will we go for? Team 1. This should return a result of all the team abilities. So here we have Engineering Team 1. 24,500 versus the 250 EC that you can get it from the vendor. Here we have Science Team 1, basically 42,000 EC versus the 250 you could purchase it from the vendor. Let's have a gander for Tactical Team 1. I'm not seeing any. This will be good. Alright, here's some. Is there any up here? Nope. So the cheapest Tactical Team 1 is 1.5 million off the exchange. You can buy it from the vendor for 250 EC. Now granted, not all of them are going to have that big of a discrepancy between them, but I think my point is fairly well proven. Let's try something else. Beamfire at will 1. Beamfire at will 1. 29,500. Again, for 250 EC from the vendor. Now, there are certain abilities, and quite a few of them, that are not available from the vendor. Usually the type 3 or the level 3 ability. So for example, Beamfire at will 3 is not available from the vendor. That is a craftable manual. and you will have to buy it off the exchange, and in this particular case it is 296,998, which isn't bad. Overload 3 is 224,999. Again, another ability that is not available off the exchange. Omega 3. That is a very common ability, not available from the vendor, but is only 5,000. Basically, a lot of bridge officers come with that ability, and what people do is they turn the officer into a manual, and it goes up on the exchange. But Attack Pattern Omega 3 is not available from the vendor. There are a lot of abilities that come from lockboxes. There's a nice few that come from crafting. There are ones then from the summer event, and there are ones then from the winter event. And that is usually it. Lockbox, crafting, summer, winter event. I think are the 4 sources for bridge officer abilities. Summer and winter, I believe, are tradable. Lockbox are definitely tradable. Crafting is tradable. And from the vendor is tradable actually as well. But the point that I want to make is you should always come to the vendor first to find out if the ability that you're looking for is available from the vendor. I mean, like, look at the level 2 abilities here. They're only 2,000 DC. If you remember, our tactical team was... Well, tactical team 1 was 1.5 million. Engineering team 1 was, what, 24,500? And here's engineering team 2. It's only 2,000. Engineering team 3 is not available from the vendor. You would have to buy that from the exchange. And there's also intelligence. All the specializations: intelligence, command, pilot, temporal operative, miracle worker. They're all here. But yeah, as you can see, there's a big discrepancy between buying off the exchange and just buying them directly from the vendor. There are vendors located at all the major faction HQs. There is one on Earth Space Dock, which we're at now. There is one on Kronos. There is one on New Romulus. And I believe there's one on Deep Space Nine. So the don'ts for this episode is: do not buy your bridge officer manuals in order to train your bridge officers from the exchange. Do not buy manuals off the exchange unless you have to. And the do's is: go to the bridge officer vendor and see if they have the manual that you're looking for first. And if they don't, then it's not available from here, and you will have to buy it off the exchange, or you will have to craft it, or you will have to buy it from the summer or winter event. If it's a lockbox one, the only option you have is to buy it off the exchange, or to do a trade with another person directly, or another player in-game directly. So that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your support. Speaking of support, if you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like. That would help me out enormously. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. And as always, please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. My name is Winters, and I'll catch you next time. So until then, adios.